This question is from Kara. How does EFT work when you have a couple living together come in because they're at an impasse? He wants to move back to his original home state, returning to family and friends, and the other wants to stay in the state they are currently residing in. Very close friendships. He moved here for her, but now thinks he doesn't want to live here forever. It is the central presenting problem. He misses home and friends. She will be in the same boat if they move.
So in stage 1 of therapy, the differences between partners are the issue. And so I like to say to my couples and in courses like ours, let's address the differences from an attachment and emotional perspective before we try to solve the differences. So in stage 1, the differences between these two, it's a clear example. Should we stay or should we go? We use that content to track their interactional pattern and do good EFT. And then in stage 2, we help them talk about their attachment needs, fears, and longings around moving or not. Because as we know, when we help partners make space to take in share some of their experience, like I have fears about moving or not moving, and that I want to hold up and pass to you while I take in some of your fears in my other hand. And we ask partners in stage 2 to share their attachment needs, fears, and longings, vulnerably so, softly so, back and forth with each other. Each of their needs, fears, and longings is as important as the other, which is why I do this with my hands with the clients to indicate a mutualness, to indicate the reciprocal nature of sharing fears about moving, about not moving. Because after we help partners connect emotionally, despite the differences of opinion or preferences or even needs, we often realize something shifts for one or both partners and they're able to problem solve, which is a stage 3 of EFT, new solutions to old problems.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like the bind is real.
The bind is real.
To this place, or do we stay here? The bind is real. But if they're emotionally close and have earned security, then they will be able to move through that bind in new ways that they can't think about or won't occur to them when they're on opposite camps.
Right. Ways their brains can't afford to think about when you're preoccupied with the state of the connection or the degree of disconnection. We can't problem solve. None of us can. And that's why it's like, let's de-escalate. Let's do EFT. Let's de-escalate around this. And then let's create some bonding moments around this. And then let's see what starts to happen. Because as you're saying, earning security, despite this difference of opinion or difference of need, this also comes alive when couples don't know if they should have a child or more. Right. Do we want kids or not? Do we want another child or not? We're at an impasse because we feel differently. And so, as we know from Gottman's perspective, 69% of problems with couples are perpetual. And then I've always said, well, let's build emotional connection even amidst this quote unquote perpetual problem, because people still love each other even though they disagree or have different opinions. We want to help them build attachment security, earn attachment security, as you so aptly reflect for us, and get some emotional connection going back and forth before they try to answer the unanswerable question, should we stay or should we go? Should we have a child? Should we not? Should we have another child? Should we not? Something different happens for humans when you hear your loved ones' attachment needs, fears, and longings shared softly, shared vulnerably. We're making space for their humanity in the face of an agonizing bind. And so if one or both are defensive, guarded, and reactive, they'll just keep escalating with each other. But in EFT, as you've heard me say a million times before, our job is to make safe space to process.
So in stage 1, like with this couple, we work towards de-escalation.
Yes.
And so that's how we do it, right? We help to see the secondary emotions, those emotions and how they fuel the behaviors and how the behaviors fuel the cycle.
Yes.
Help them to de-escalate. And then in stage 2, that's this, I have my fears and longings and needs and you have yours, and I hold mine and share them and you hold yours and share them, and we hold them both.
Yes. And it's amazing that as the EFT therapist helps one partner distill a little bit of his or her, their fear, and put some in their hand, a little bit of space, bandwidth, I said yesterday, and it's not a great metaphor, but it's apt enough. A little bit of space opens up for me to take in my loved ones' distilled need, fear, and longing. And that's what happens is in stage 2 with these binds that couples are in, good people who love each other, who are struggling with an unanswerable question because one will be unhappy with the answer. And it's hard to find the quote win-win answer.
Yeah.
When we take in each other's pain and literally put it in our nervous system, put it in our hearts, because that's what love lets us do, what privilege of love, then it's like, oh, I didn't know how deeply you felt about this, or I didn't know how scared you were about that. Oh, that's helping me understand why this moving has become so important, or why this not moving, whatever it might be. So even now talking about it, I have the chills, just empathically imagining this. This is a conversation where we're making space for each partner's fear to be shared in the mutualness, because the sharing of fear is the only way to shrink it. And then from a place of earned security, they'll start thinking of other options. Other options will come to their brains, to their heads and their hearts, because they're not preoccupied with their disconnection. They're not stuck in reactivity.
Those irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
And I've experienced this. Couples come in with an irreconcilable difference that you think either have a baby or don't have a baby, or move here or don't move here. And it really feels like it's binary. There's just one win, one lose.
Yeah.
But through this process, it actually looks different.
I just think for all of us, we've all been here as humans, as people in committed love relationships. When you're so afraid your person isn't able to take in your perspective or your opinion, just how alone that leaves a human feeling. And then through the process of EFT, the clinician takes in each partner's opinion and experience and longing. And then as you head into stage 2, you help the listening partner take it in. And that does start to change everything.
Like a miracle.
Like a miracle.
You can't see it on the other side.
Right. And we can't guarantee a thing. I have no idea which way the couple will end up deciding. But I do know that when we provide safe space and we provide emotional connection around our pockets of pain and fear, humans shift and transform, and something different happens.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
For more hot tips on emotionally focused therapy, go to theeftcafe.com and sign up for our newsletter, where you will receive short little clips like the one you just watched.